We were working down the west coast of the South Island and I'm spraying pine trees, and it's called Dothostroma spraying. And it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess. So the guys had started work at about 5. The relevance of that is that it's been a long day and the temperatures were high. And this particular day we were working off a skid site. The idea is the helicopter comes into the middle of the site. The first loader will come over straight over to the helicopter, lift up the lid of the tank, put the fuel nozzle in, and then he'll go back to the truck and he'll turn the tap on to start loading the spray. The other loader will pick up the 2 cans of fuel because your runs are around about half an hour, maybe 30, 40 minutes, and it's using about 2 cans every 40 minutes. So the loader come around the side with his jerry cans, and he takes the jerry can like this, and he puts it into the fuel tank of the Robinson, and he's taken the fuel cap off, obviously. As he puts it into the fuel tank like this, it ignites. He steps backwards. Fortunately, he's got flame-proof overalls on. He steps backwards, and as he does so, you can see that's been bent. It's bent, and he can't get it out, so he drops it. The thing was, as I said, it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the fuel inside the tank would be vaporized because the engine is right underneath it, and so you could actually occasionally you could see it. You could see it when you took the cap off. You can sort of see that shimmering. The other loader had seen this happen, and he picked up the fire extinguisher, which incidentally was a 2.5 kg fire extinguisher. He picked it up on the pilot side beside the skid, and he shot round the side and past the refueling loader, Kyle. He was going in the other direction, past him and put it out to where it was just there was just a couple of little flames, around the bottom of it. And the forestry guy, he'd seen this whole thing happen. He picked a fire extinguisher up from his truck, and he came across. He had probably about 25 or 30 metres to come. He came across and put it out completely. And we think that the fire was probably on the top side of about 23 seconds from starting to finishing. The whole side of the engine bay was slightly warped, and all the paint was completely burnt off it. As you could see from the jerry can, that was the damage on the side of it was 20 seconds worth. As you can see here, it was 20 seconds worth, and I would suggest that probably another 10 seconds and that would have burnt through, which would have been a very different outcome. So sort of significant things that we learnt from it. I know while the outcome was, nobody wants to see something like that happen, we learnt a huge amount from it. One is that, that you think that the jerry can is plastic, so it doesn't conduct electricity. Well, of course, we all know when we comb your hair, you can get static electricity in the comb, so it does conduct electricity. Kyle, who was doing the refueling, he had on a pair of beach shorts underneath his overalls, and the overalls were a flame retardant thing. They sort of smoulder, but they won't actually flame. With the beach shorts underneath, that we actually proved a couple of nights later that the static electricity can build up with the combination of the nylon beach shorts and this sort of coarse, almost like a Gore-Texy type material. The extinguisher size was an issue. We thought we'd done it all done it right, having come from operating a Hughes 500, which burns Jet A1, and it has a vastly lower flash point. We just used the same extinguishers, which clearly weren't adequate at all. So we changed, and in fact we got with the local fire professionals in to give us a talk about what we should be doing, and they straight away went up to 4.5 kg. hot refuelling is out for a whole lot of reasons. It's which are pretty obvious. I think that we were lucky in what happened, but it could have been far, far worse.